Hello, online scholars. This is Professor Harmon here. I just wanted to share with you some notes that I recently uploaded to the course site that are going to be crucial to your success in the course as you move forward and analyze literature. So right now I am on the welcome page. If you scroll down, you want to go down to Notes on the left-hand side, click on Notes. And then once you go into Notes, you'll see Writing About Literature Resources. Click on that folder. And you'll see some websites. Then you'll see a note sheet that I'll show you in a second. And then you're going to see basically a table that I created that I think will help you as you annotate and analyze literature moving forward. So let's go back up here. The first website is called Author's Craft. It's really helpful because it provides various literary devices. It defines the literary device for you, but what I really like is that it talks about why it's important and what its function is. So if you take a look at, let's say, allusion, it gives examples, but it explains why it is important. So that's the way we analyze, not only by identifying patterns in literature, and by identifying those literary devices that authors use, but you have to be able to talk about why that is important. So why is it important that the author used an allusion? What is that allusion saying? What is it doing, right? What is it showing us? How does it make the author feel? And also, how does it make the audience feel? And also, what does it do? What is its purpose? Right? What is it trying to convey? So a really great website to get you to make those connections and dig a little deeper. Let's go back. Let's get out of here. Second website is very similar in that it lists all literary devices that authors can use, but then it discusses the function. And again, I think it's really important that you have some guidance and some notes to explain to you the purpose for authors using certain literary devices. So let's say alliteration is a device that an author used that you noticed. Okay? This just gives examples. It gives examples from literature. From Maya Angelou's I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings provides an example of an alliteration. Woolen black clothes worn in summer weather and green leaves wilting over yellow flowers. And then it explains why that is an alliteration. Okay, and then it talks about the function of alliteration. Okay, so understanding the function will help you understand the purpose. So that's really important. All right. Third item here is a document that I created that gives you some vocabulary to use when you're discussing literature, because it's so important that you're able to discuss literature in a very articulate way. So if you don't have the vocabulary, how can you discuss it on the discussion boards, and how can you really analyze it and talk about it? So I'm going to click on the file now so I can show it to you. So the first part of this document just provides some questions that you should be asking as you go through the literature that we're reading. Okay, so this is just a way to annotate. Okay, some guiding questions. The second part of the document talks about discussing tone. So you can't discuss tone if you don't have the diction, right, or the language vocabulary. So before understanding tone, you have to know that tone is made up of diction, it's made up of syntax, and it's made up of language. Okay? So diction is the connotation of the word choice. Okay, and I gave you some words here that you can use to describe diction. All right, is the author's diction, is it poetic? Is it colloquial? Right? Is it literal? Is it really figurative? Is it scholarly? Okay. If you don't know what any of those words mean, please look them up. It's really important that you do know the vocabulary when discussing tone. Syntax that relates to tone has to do with the types of sentences or words that the author uses. Okay, it's sentence structure. It talks about sentence length and patterns. If an author uses very short sentences versus very long compounded sentences, what does that mean, or how does that change your experience as you read the text? Okay, I provided some more words here that will help you understand tone a little bit better. Okay, diction, imagery, details, and language and syntax all relate to tone. Okay. A tone can be sarcastic, a tone can be heartfelt, a tone can be cultured. All right, moving on. Literary terms, more literary terms, okay, and definitions. All right, so hopefully that is helpful. Let's go back here. I'm going to get out of that. Close this. We went through all the literary terms. Excellent. Let me get out. Let me go back to our screen. Oops. Sorry about this. Here we go. Where is it? So many tabs open. All right, let's go back here. All right, let's see. Let's just go back then. I don't know where it went. Let's go back. I'm going to log back in. Sorry about that. Here we go. All right. And then finally on the page, if you look at the bottom, I provided a box here that I think you should actually create for yourself as you closely read the texts in the next coming weeks. So get in the habit of identifying patterns as well as rhetorical strategies and or literary strategies, okay? Try to jot down the techniques that the authors are using, all right? So I would do that on the left-hand side, write the technique that you notice, and if you need to remember what the technique means, why not write the definition, okay? Then write the quote or the example from the literary piece in the second column. And then in the right-hand column, write down the purpose. Why do you think the author used that rhetorical strategy? Okay. And I think creating a chart and filling out a chart like this will be very helpful when it comes time to write your discussion board post or your analytical papers at the end of the unit. All right. So hopefully this was helpful. If you have any questions moving forward, please do not hesitate to reach out. Thanks, guys. Have a great weekend.